Right, okay. Sorry for the delay. I'm actually live now, actually talking to you. Goodness, this has been a fun half an hour. Basically everything kept going wrong. Basically every time I thought I'd actually got it working right, I had another three things to add to the list of things that weren't. But we're here. I've got my computer up here. I've got my phone here. We're gonna do some Q&A. Let's just adjust myself, shall we? Right, okay. Let's actually do this now. Noob Scores has asked, what's it feel like talking to just me and my dog? Dunno. Who's your dog? That was a weird question. I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to be answering for that one, if we're being brutally honest. Let's go on to some actual questions. Ranger K has left a list of questions for me to answer, and because I've got nothing else to do, I'm going to actually answer just like all of them. First they asked, are there any books or films that you are inspired by the style of? I don't know, to be honest. Not as a whole. I don't think there is any huge influences on like everything that I do, if that makes sense. I'm sort of inspired by different bits depending on what I'm working on. As I said in the video when I was talking about my book, when I was making that, I was very heavily inspired by The Magicians. Inspiration can be various, basically. Different books and scripts have very different influences, and I guess it's kind of just whatever I'm interested in and whatever is similar to what I'm working on, really. I think there's a good amount to be said for being able to be inspired by things and to be able to say that you are, and aspects of this and this are inspired by this and this. It's all just kind of, it's inevitable, really. But yeah, that's it. It depends, basically. It depends on what I'm working on, why I'm working on it, and what format it is, even. What is your favourite video game of all time? The first couple times I tried to do this, I sort of half answered this question. Crash Bandicoot 2 is the actual answer I'll give that I came to. It's great fun. Crash Bandicoot 2 on the PS1. I generally played it on the PS2, but it's for the PS1. It's such a fun game. It's very old, not very old, but it looks old. It doesn't look good. If it wasn't that I was moving and leaving the PlayStation here because it's my brother's, I would definitely be getting this whole remade Crash Bandicoot thing. But I'm not, because it's not my PlayStation, so I can't bring it with me. Let me just share this on Tumblr. Okay, here we go. Oh goodness, this has been such a pain to set up, you have no idea. I tried to do it in here, the same way I'm doing it now, and then that shelf over there decided to disintegrate, and my brother ended up having to mess around with it, and I think I kind of had to go a bit for that, which was a little unfair. But it was just making so much noise, and I just couldn't do it. So then I tried to go and do it outside. That also didn't work, quite simply because the internet connection didn't stretch enough, and the extender thing we have doesn't really work very well. So it was all just a little bit of a disaster. Sorry, I'm just gonna try and move you up here a bit. That looks a bit nicer. That's a much better angle. It was not a flattering angle at all before. Anyway, back to the questions. If you had a chance for a do-over in life, what would you do differently? Another one that I kind of failed at answering the first time I tried to do this until I actually found an answer to it. I would stand up for myself more at primary school. I did not have a great time at primary school. I was bullied, to be fair. Yes, I was very much bullied in primary school, and I wish I'd actually stood up for myself a bit more than I actually probably did in reality. It's a shame, but it's just sort of true. That's something that I didn't do that I wish I had, and that I would definitely do if I had the other chance to do it. How would you describe your taste in music? I can't really think of how I describe my taste in music. It's actually quite mixed. Well, it's not that mixed. Mainly sort of leaning towards rock. I generally don't enjoy pop that much, so that's kind of the best I can do. I've got some, like, obviously, as people might know, I'm quite into anime, so I've got anime music. I've got quite a lot of Snow Patrol, obviously Marillion I've explained, and a lot very specifically female-led sort of pop punk, that scale, slightly more heavier than pop punk, that type of thing, that sort of alternative rock. I don't know what it is about that specific subgenre. I generally enjoy listening to it. There are some decent male-led bands, but I find on the whole I don't like the voices as much. With a few exceptions, generally I just don't enjoy listening to it as much. And I don't really know why. Why are you choosing to study film production? Because I want to be getting into TV, very specifically TV, and very specifically writing TV. And that was kind of just the way I decided to do it. My thought is, if I can learn about the whole production, then A, it should help me as far as script writing is concerned, because I kind of have knowledge to apply to it, if that makes sense. Like, I'll be able to write with certain facts about the production process that I can bear in mind while I'm writing, which should hopefully make it easier to whoever it gets handed over to actually make after I've written it. And also because I know it's pretty much impossible for me to go straight into a writing job if I do a whole film production course, especially one as sort of practical as the one I'm doing. But I should be able to go in with a film production degree, get a job in film and television at some point in some way. So then I have an in, so that I can start building up contacts and that kind of thing. So eventually I'll actually be able to be doing what I want to do a little bit down the line. I definitely don't think that I'm going to be able to achieve everything I want to right now or right after university. But doing this means that I actually have the chance to, and if nothing else, I might find something else that really interests me and that I might end up doing instead. That's the truth. I don't know what all of film production entails, so I think this is a good way for me to really work out what I want to be doing. What are you most afraid of? Well, this could go two ways. I could go very normal or very philosophical. If we're going normal, toy insects. Not necessarily live ones, but not live ones. I don't know why. I always have. But show me an ant, I'm fine. Show me a toy ant, I will push it away. I will leave. I don't know what it is. I think it might be a scale thing. A normal ant is about that big. A toy one will be about that big, and that freaks me out. I don't like the fact that they're so much bigger. I don't know. They just freak me out. I've got stories to tell about that. Maybe I'll tell those stories another day. I had an interesting encounter with a friend of mine and a giant remote control tarantula in a shop, which I was kind of creeped out by that shop before. Now I wouldn't altogether say I don't have a bit of a phobia of Hawkins Bazaar. If you know me in real life, you'll know I don't like going into that shop. It freaks me out. So they were actually that I'm most afraid of bloody Hawkins Bazaar. Also museums. Museums really creep me out. Like, even not in real life, I'm pretty sure either last night or the night before I was having a dream and there was a museum and I had the same uncomfortable feeling that I do when I'm in a real museum. I don't like things hanging from the ceiling. That really puts me on edge and I don't know why. What was your most embarrassing moment? Oof. Goodness. I don't know. I probably repressed anything particularly embarrassing. I probably fell over at some point. I do that quite a bit. If you ask my friend and you go, I've got many stories of there's probably just a list that she's probably got in a Word document somewhere of just stupid things I've done. I think I'll say that the most embarrassing one of those was on the train back from Summer in the City on the Saturday. Summer in the City, the wristbands are those ones that like fabric wristbands that held on with a little plastic bead that you can't pull that way. You can only push further on. Now, my friend Isabel, she had taken hers off because it had been the end of the day. I kind of got it stuck on my shoelace because I was messing around and I should not have been messing around, and it was a really stupid thing to do. We got it off eventually without having to, cut my shoelace to pieces, but that's something I still haven't quite lived down yet. So yeah, most embarrassing moment would actually probably be that. Are there any skills you'd like to learn? This is all still the same list from Ranger K, by the way. They put loads of questions on. It's great. Skills I'd like to learn. Physical skills, not so much. I want to drive. I want to learn to drive. I plan on learning to drive once I get into Winchester. Obviously, I've technically been legally allowed to for about a year and a half now. I just didn't get around to it. And driving lessons are expensive. And then it got to the point where even if I could afford it, if I was going to start learning, I'd have a couple lessons with one driving instructor, move to university, and have to start again with someone else anyway. So I figured I might as well just wait until I'm settled at university, wait until I've hopefully got a job and have a bit of money that I can actually use to pay for driving lessons so I can actually learn properly. Because I would like to learn to drive. I would like to learn Japanese because I'm a nerd. No, I really like it as a language. I've sort of been learning bits. I can do words. I can do the simplest set of symbols. I can read relatively comfortably. But I'd like to properly learn that. It's such a great language, and that was a set of sounds that I made with my mouth. No, I find it a really interesting language. I'm very interested in linguistics anyway, English and any other language. And from that point of view, I find Japanese very interesting. I find its context importance very interesting. I find just the way it sounds very nice. I find the symbols really interesting because they're so different to how we write. So I want to learn it for those reasons. And I really want to try and learn French again. I'm going to France in a few weeks on holiday, and I want to see if I can find some kind of refresher course in French. Because I used to be, not like fluent, but I was good. I got an A at GCSE French and could speak it okay. And so I wish I could still do that. So I'm hoping to try and train myself back a bit so I can do that before I leave for France. Do you have a bucket list? I mean, not really. I've got things I want to do. Again, I've explained that I really want to learn Japanese and I would love to actually be able to go to Japan. I've never actually written anything down in an actual list. Truthfully, there's not much else I want to do. I want to go to Comic-Con, but I'll probably just do that next year if I have the money. Oh, actually, we'll go back to the skills one. I need to properly learn piano again. I used to play piano decently. I had lessons right through, I think, year 4 through to year 8. I stopped because I kind of just lost interest. But I've kind of gained interest again. I do actually have a keyboard now. You'll have seen it in the background of some of my videos. So once I go to university, again, everything is once I go to university. I kind of am not doing anything while I'm still here. I really want to learn piano again. And probably try and learn it from scratch. Obviously, it will be quick to learn from scratch because the really simple stuff I should already be able to do. But now I've got an actual decent keyboard. It's old, but nice quality one that I can actually learn to play. I would definitely like to be able to carry on doing that. Yeah, bucket list. Back to that. No, let me say that. No, I don't have a bucket list. Maybe I should. I probably should have some kind of bucket list because I like the idea. I just don't think there's enough stuff that I'd actually want to do that I've ever considered putting it together into a list, I suppose. In fact, if I probably sat down and tried to make one, I could probably find enough stuff to make a list, but No, I don't really have a bucket list. That's all those questions. I might just retweet this again because it'd be nice to get some more people watching. Sorry. I'll put you back down there for a second. There we go. Just tweeted that out. Just tweeted this out again, just in case anyone wants to be a late viewer. But yep. Where was I? Let's try and jump back. I've got a couple more questions from the video. These are both from Kubebe, who I do know in real life. So he's asked a couple of questions. First, he asked, would you ever co-write for a film for me in the distant future? Not something that is... what was I saying? I'm dreadful. I really am. Yes, I would. I would love to. I would definitely like to do some co-writing with anyone, to be honest. I like the idea of being able to work with someone else or something, because it's not something I've ever done on anything I've actually finished before. It'd be fun. It'd be an interesting situation. It'd be a very interesting experience, I think. But it's definitely one that I would like to do and would like to be able to do. So yes. Finally, he asked, would you ever turn Foxway Academy into a TV series or a film? Film, no. TV series, yes. I will talk about this more at some other time, because I do have some interesting opinions about TV versus film. If you're adapting a book, or especially a book series like Foxway is going to be once I finish writing the other two books, I don't think that's quite as well suited to film as it is for TV. If you look at the Harry Potter films and ask anyone who's read the books, they cut a lot out from the books when they made the films. And though it didn't make them bad films in the slightest, it did leave some people a bit disappointed that they had cut so much stuff out. So if I did anything, it'd be into a TV series. I think the question is also, would I? I would like to. I would be hesitant to let someone else do it. I think I'd want to keep some kind of creative control, because there are certain things that I would really just want to make sure weren't taken out. Not that they necessarily would be, but I'd want to make sure. I would want to make sure that they weren't. Oh, that's fallen down. I think that makes sense. Ah! That went really well. Right. That's all the questions I've been asked here. Shall I see if there's any questions anywhere else? No, I shouldn't. Right, yeah. So that's it. There's no more questions. In fact, no one's even watched this, so I will probably just I'll probably just pull the file and I'll edit it down and upload it normally, I think, because that's probably an easier way to do it. Anyway, that's VEDJ. I've done it. 31 videos every day. Not 31 videos every day. That would really be an intense task. But I uploaded a video every day for 31 days. I am so happy with how it's gone. If you want to know how that went to a larger scale, go and watch yesterday's video. I did a bit of a bigger sort of wrap-up. This was not supposed to be a wrap-up. This was supposed to be a really nice active live stream with me talking to people, but that hasn't happened, so it's basically a normal video. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's been watching VEDJ. Thanks to no one, because no one's fucking watched it. Thank you to everyone who's been watching VEDJ. I will get back to making normal videos soon. It's Summer in the City next weekend. I am going to be there. I'll probably go to some panels. I'm tempted to not go to the meet and greets just because it felt like a bit of a waste of time last year. But I'm going to be there. If you happen to be there and you're not one of the people I'm there with anyway, message me on YouTube or Twitter or something, and it would be cool to see people who I haven't met. I don't think that's going to happen, but who knows. I'll be giving away business cards, so maybe I'll get some new viewers anyway. Anyway, that's all I'm going to be doing today. Thank you to everyone who's watched. Anyway, that is all I'm going to be doing today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I will not see you tomorrow. That's so weird. I'm going to have to get used to not saying that anymore. See you guys next time. Bye.